This episode of Plante Talk is brought to you by Milo Energy Drink, more delicious and more nutritious.
A pleasant day, everyone. This is Teacher Christine Joy, your teacher and podcaster for today. Are you ready for a podcast lesson? Good to hear that, my dear students. Now, kindly get your self-learning module in Science 5 as well as your paper and pen. Let's begin. You can see different types of plants everywhere. As you can observe, they differ in size, shape, color, smell, and even their mode of reproduction. Like animals, plants need to continuously reproduce themselves to sustain their species. Some reproduce through their seeds while some utilize other plant parts. In this lesson for today, you will learn more about the reproductive plant parts and their functions. Likewise, you will be able to describe reproductive parts in plants and their functions. But before we proceed to the lesson proper, let's first test your understanding of the topic we will tackle. Get your Science 5 Module Quarter 2 to Lesson 4 and turn it to page 1. Pause this audio and you may start answering on a piece of clean sheet paper the 1 to 10 items questions under what I know. Are you done? How is it? Good. You can take a look to the answer keys placed in the last part of your module to know how well you have done. Kids, don't worry if you got low scores. We are just starting. As long as you have learned something, then that's a job well done. From the previous activity, what plant parts are important in reproduction? Are you familiar with the different reproductive parts of a plant and its functions? Plants are one of the most living organisms on earth. They play much benefit to both animals and human beings. They produce oxygen which is needed for the survival of living organisms. Overall, different plant parts have different roles to perform. It's just equally essential to know how they are propagated, but first in hand, let us know the different reproductive plant parts of flower, stem, roots, and leaf, and its functions that will be important in the sexual and asexual reproduction. The reproductive part of a flower, the stamen and the pistil, also called carpel, are the reproductive structures of a flower. They are the essential parts. The pistil is the female organ of the flower. It's made up of 3 parts, which is the stigma, the style, and the ovary. The stigma is the swollen structure at the end of the style. The style is a long, sticky, slender tube. The ovary is in the large basal portion of the pistil which contains the ovules. The stamen is the male reproductive organ of the flower. It is composed of 2 parts, which is the anther and the filament. The anther consists of 2 lobes that contain the pollen sacs. The filament holds the anther in a position tall enough to release the pollen. The reproductive parts of a stem, root, and leaf. Natural vegetate propagation is a method where a portion of the plant gets separated from the body of the mother plant and grows into an independent plant. The parts may be stem, root, and leaf. Runners are stems that grow horizontally above the ground. They have nodes where buds are formed. These buds grow into a new plant. Examples are peppermint and strawberries. Suckers are upright shoots that grow from buds found at the base of stems of parent plants. The banana, bamboo, and pineapple are some examples of plants that can reproduce from suckers. A bulb contains an underground stem. Leaves are attached to the stem. These leaves contain much stored food. At the center of the bulb is an apical bud. Also attached are lateral buds. The apical bud will produce leaves and a flower, while the lateral buds will produce new shoots. As the plant grows and develops, it forms a new bulb underground. Examples are onions, tulips, and garlic. A rhizome, also known as rootstocks, is a type of plant stem situated either at the soil surface or underground that contains nodes from which roots and shoots originate. When separated, each piece of rhizome is capable of producing a new plant. Examples are ginger and crabgrass. New plants will grow out of swollen, modified roots called tubers. Buds develop at the base of the stem and then grow into new plants. Examples are potato, cassava, and sweet potato. Leaves of some plants grow into a new plant if they become detached from the parent plant. Other plants grow small plants called plantlets on the edge of their leaves. One of the examples is katakataka. Wow, that's a quite long discussion we have right there. Did you listen carefully? Okay, very good. Dear students, I hope you have learned about the reproductive parts of plants and its functions. We have already finished discussing the plant parts and its functions. Hence, let's jump into our second activity to check if you really learned something. Move your attention in your self-learning module. Kindly turn it to page 6, activity 1. Answer it with your very best. Good luck! Are you finished? Did you find the activity easy or difficult? Excellent! Beloved learners, I do appreciate the time and attention you have spent for today's discussion. I am going to end this podcast lesson with a task I am leaving you to be considered as your assignment. Thank you again, and I do hope that the lesson tackled will give you knowledge that is very helpful and beneficial to you all. Once again, this is Teacher Christine Joy. Have a nice day and keep safe, everyone.